Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we saw a continuation of yesterday's upside move with responsive sellers active at the 85 half resistance. At this point, heading into the open, we have the pre-market resistance zone at 84.75 to 86.75. Continued balance up here can take that zone out, and the next important inflection point is 92 quarter to 94 quarter, where responsive sellers can be active. So even though we know that buyers are in firm control, at the same time the market is really getting overdone and overbought, and a push into 92 quarter and 94 quarter could still attract sellers on the day time frame, and that could still present a nice short setup on the day time frame. On the downside, we have pre-market support at 75 to 77.5. This is the aggressive area of support, but if the market is truly strong, then that zone can hold, and from there the market can turn around and go right back up to 84.75 to 86.75 with potential to break out higher into the 92 quarter to 94 quarter. Below that we have the initial support zone at 69 quarters, 71.75. That is more conservative trade location, and ideally the buyers hold ES above initial support, leaving yesterday's balance and even yesterday's IB low and intraday balance intact. So even if we get a pullback, buyers can be active at 75 to 77.5 if the market is truly strong, which so far it seems to be. But in the event that the market goes down into 69 quarters, 71.75, that's still a very good area for buyers to step in. The way the market's structured right now, it's put in such a big upside move that a pullback to initial support from a market structure perspective doesn't really mean much. Pulling back down to initial support is not really a big deal given the magnitude of the move from the 41 area. So, even though buyers can be active and hold 75 to 77.5, even pushing down to initial support is not really going to change the underlying bias. It's not going to change the fact that buyers are going to be in control. And given the fact that we're breaking out from a pretty defined balance, broke out yesterday, today the focus is going to be on buying pullbacks into pretty much every area of support and looking for a move back up into the 84.75 to 86.75 and 92 quarter to 94 quarter. Now, the initial resistance zone, like I said, is an area where on first test we can get a response, we can get a reaction. If we continue balancing up there, then of course even that zone can eventually give way to a move into 96.5 to 98.5, and then we have the all-time high at the 2103 quarter, 2105 quarter, which is big resistance until it's actually taken out. So, like I said, our bias is bullish this morning, but with the understanding that sellers can be active and they can defend the 92 quarter, 94 quarter area, and we can actually get a decent sell response up there for a move back down into the overnight range. And then on the downside, we're going to focus on buying pullbacks at pre-market support and initial support. If the market's coming down on heavy momentum into pre-market support, then perhaps we try to get slightly better location, but the zone certainly has potential to hold. And then initial support is a good spot as well. A failure of initial support, again, doesn't mean that the sell side is going to be completely taking over. We can still just head down a little bit, find support, and just turn right back up. The big area of support that needs to hold at this point is 56 to 58.5. And given how strong this market has been, the expectation is not for ES to revisit 56 to 58.5 today. And that's why ideally you want to see it holding the initial support zone or even the pre-market support for a move into initial resistance. Yesterday we had a wide range day. Typically wide range days are not followed by another wide range session. So today the range could be a little more limited as compared to yesterday. So keep that idea in mind too. On the econ front, we have the oil number out at 9:30 a.m. Central Time, and right now oil is at a 7-month high. So just be aware of that econ report at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. If you're in a trade or looking to get into a trade, just be mindful of 9:30 a.m. because there can be short-term volatility around that release. So those were the main ideas heading into the open. Primary focus on the long side, but open to shorting 92 quarter, 94 quarter as well. So those are main thoughts. Let's see if the buy side can maintain control from yesterday, and we'll take it from there.